Good afternoon, everyone. My name is meteorologist Heather Kay, aka Bob the Minion, the cutest one of all of them. And it's time for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by See-Through Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractors Show, as well as Atlas Roofing. Thank you guys for sponsoring all of our videos, and their links to their pages are in the description below. So let's get right into our weather headlines. It's going to be another a quiet day today. Yesterday was relatively quiet overall, but today we're not expecting anything in terms of severe weather. But then as we get into tomorrow, severe weather chances will return for parts of Texas and into western Oklahoma. So we'll take a look at that. And then as we get into the next few days, it looks like things are going to start getting at least a little bit more active out there. So we'll take a look at that as well. But before we get into the forecast, Halloween is just a few days away, and Derek needs a costume. So we do have a link below in the description, and I think on YouTube as well. This is the forecast that we do is here on Facebook as well as YouTube. And next Monday, when we do the forecast, Derek will be in costume, so we need your help in what he's going to be. So we have Prism Mike, as well as Ricky Bobby, and then the one that I really want him to do, 11 from Stranger Things. So go on and vote for that costume for him. So yesterday's storm reports, I forgot to change the date, oopsies, but then going into yesterday's reports, we really didn't have anything besides a tornado report here in Florida, as well as a wind report here up into Alabama. So yesterday was a bust in terms of severe weather. We really didn't have a whole lot with that line that pushed through the southeast. So here are our current conditions across the lower 48. That low pressure system that brought the severe weather a few days ago is starting to move off to the northeast. Let's zoom on in here. No severe weather with this low pressure system for today, just some heavier rain here from the Great Lakes, so eastern Michigan into parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and then into the far northeast here. Looks like some heavier rain is about to move on into parts of Maine. You can see moving from the south to the north. So if you're in Maine, it looks like you're going to get some heavier rain there today. And then moving off to the southeast, trailing cold front associated with that system, bringing some showers into the Jacksonville area and just to the northwest of Tampa, and that's expected to move off to the east today. And zooming back out to look at our temperatures, pretty cool across most of the U.S. It's only 45 right now in Minneapolis, 50 in Fort Wayne, a bit warmer though as you go further south. It's 59 in Kansas City, and then we start to warm up a bit more as we go into Texas, with temperatures getting up into the 60s and even lower 70s. And here is that trailing cold front starting to push off the coast here with a temperature of 84 in Miami. So that is our warm spot for today, and of course a lot cooler here in the northwest. And in terms of our dew points, it's really dry out there with the exception along and ahead of that trailing cold front, a dew point of 61 in Miami, 62 in Boston. But again, most of us are staying relatively dry out there with dew points anywhere from the 20s to the lower 40s here in parts of the central U.S. So today, no severe weather is expected, no severe hail or wind. But as we get into tomorrow, we will have a new low pressure to watch for a few days. So here is our instability. The Cape values, again, that's the instability that those storms need in order to form. This is tomorrow at 5 p.m. You can see those values start to increase as we get into tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night. We will be watching basically from Amarillo down to Lubbock, down to San Angelo for the chances of severe weather, and then Those CAPE values will start to diminish as we get into the overnight hours, but we will still have some instability around as we wake up on Friday morning. And here is our feature radar for tomorrow. We will be dry to start out for our morning and into the beginning of our afternoon. And then as we get into later in the evening, this is at 7 p.m. tomorrow, this is when we will start to watch for the potential for storms to fire up. You can see as we go a little bit further out tomorrow at 9 p.m., some isolated cells are expected to form in the panhandle of Texas. And then as we get into later on tomorrow night and early Friday morning, some more storms are expected to develop, as well as some heavier rain. And then as we get into later on Friday morning at 7 a.m., you can see a more widespread coverage of some heavier rain and storms are possible. So we'll be getting more rain here in Oklahoma on Friday morning and through the day on Friday, and then some storms possible from Lubbock down to San Angelo. And then we will be watching southeastern Texas for the potential of severe weather on Friday. So we'll get to that in just a second. But for tomorrow's forecast, we're going to keep the hail sizes low right now, as we'll show you the dew points in just a second, but there may be a moisture issue. So the storms that will fire and become severe may be more on the elevated side of things. So for right now, we're going to keep them at quarter to maybe $half size from Amarillo down to Abilene down to San Angelo. And then for our winds, same deal, a low chance right now. We're going to keep it at around 60 miles per hour. Same areas from Amarillo down to Abilene and San Angelo as we get into tomorrow evening and into the overnight hours. And in terms of severe weather threats for tomorrow, it's going to be relatively low for now. Things can change as we get some more information in and see if that moisture return is a bit better. But for now, we're going to keep things low for large hail, a very low risk for a tornado or two, as well as a low chance for some high winds. There could be a good amount of moisture from the system, so flooding could be a concern. So keep that in mind. Now taking a look at our jet stream, you can see it's starting to move a bit more south here, and it's going to become a bit more active in terms of our pattern. So this is right now at around noon. This trough is just digging on south here, and as we get into tomorrow, we get this short wave that will be moving on to the south-southeast. This will be the system that we will be watching for the potential of severe weather tomorrow, as well as getting into Friday. You can see it starts to dip off to the south even more here in southeastern Texas. And then as we get into the weekend, it kind of cuts itself off from the main jet stream. As of right now, it doesn't look like it's going to produce any severe weather, just some heavier rains, but things can change. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. And then as we get into our Sunday, we get some more short waves here, bringing some more cold air down into the southeast, and we'll continue again to watch that low pressure system as we get into Saturday and Sunday. So here is our future radar for the next few days. Again, nothing is expected today, but then as we get into tomorrow and into Friday, we'll be watching this system in Texas and western Oklahoma, bringing some heavy rain. That will be the main threat, but again, a low chance of hail and wind are possible for western Texas on tomorrow, and then getting into southeastern Texas on Friday, and then getting into Saturday, some more heavy rains expected here in the Gulf Coast states, and that will continue to push off to the east as we get into Sunday. So here are our forecasted dew points. Again, it's going to be relatively dry as we get into the rest of today and into tomorrow, and then getting into tomorrow evening, can see those values start to creep up here in terms of dew points in western Texas, but they don't look very impressive. So there will be some moisture available, but it doesn't look like it's going to be the best. So again, moisture may be an issue when it comes to that severe hail and wind threat. So we'll be watching this for you guys as we get into tomorrow and into Friday. And then some higher values will be around for our weekend. So some rain is expected for you guys here in the southeast. And that low pressure system will move off to the east here as we get into Sunday. So here's our look ahead forecast. This is for Friday. As we saw, the forecast for severe weather will be in the western parts of Texas on Thursday, and that chance will shift off to the southeast for Friday. It doesn't look very impressive right now. It's a low end chance, but if you're in the Houston area, Friday we'll be watching you guys for the potential for a severe storm or two there. And then going out into the next 5 days, again, today should be quiet. And then getting into Thursday and Friday, there is a low chance to see some hail, anywhere from a quarter to $half size maybe. We're going to keep it on the low size right now until we get some more information and more confidence in terms of those hail sizes. But then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, as of right now, the chances of severe weather aren't there. I think it's just going to be a lot of heavy rain, but things can change. As you know, Mother Nature likes to throw us a surprise or two. But right now, we are saying that no severe weather is expected for our weekend. Then lastly, let's check out the tropics. We do have 2 areas that we are watching. The first one here in the Caribbean doesn't have any chance of development within the next 2 days, but then within the next 5 days, we do have a 30% chance that this could become a named system. And then moving on to the north here, a 20% chance within the next 2 days for this area. And then as we get into the next 5 days, we have a 30% chance of this disturbance becoming a tropical depression or a named storm. So the chances are pretty low again, but they're not zero. So stay tuned here to HailTrace as we will keep you updated on these systems to see if they become anything. But for now, that is all that I have for you today. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, as well as our TikTok page where we've been trying to create some fun content for you guys. And if you guys need anything, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com and check out our website at www.hailtrace.com. And I am meteorologist Heather Kay, aka Bob the Minion. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday.